everybody, welcome to the Black Sheep Props channel. I'm Steve and I'm here to teach you the tips, tools, techniques, and materials for building your very own super cool EVA foam props. Now in our last build we went sci-fi when we built the Klingon knife. And if you missed that build, we're going to include the link to our channel's homepage in the description below so you can go over there and check out Klingon knife or any of the other super cool builds we have there. But for this build we're going to go video game. So without further ado, Black Sheep Props would like to introduce you to the newest member of the family. That's right. Check that monstrosity out. That's right, kids. It's Harley Quinn's Mallet from Injustice 2. Look at that bad boy. Giant wood head with the cool wood grain in there. Diamond pattern down the middle wrap. Targets. The cool handle with all the different colored bands wrapped around it with the diamond pattern on there, and wood grain carved into the handle. Man, this thing is a monster. And we should have put "your face here" written on there just like she does, but that's not written on the one in Injustice 2, so we didn't do it. But hey, it's your prop. If you want to write "your face here" on yours, go for it. Alright, so in this episode, making an EVA foam Harley Quinn Mallet Part 1, we're going to begin going step by step through how to make this monster. And we have a template for this too, so if you want to build your own mallet along with us, you can. We'll include the link to the channel or to our store's site in the description below, so you can go over there if you want, pick up a template. And if not, just chill out, that's cool too. So, if you're ready to hit it, let's make something. Alright, so we're going to start off by cutting these 3 huge circles. We've got these giant circles. We've got 24 millimeter, 2 of these, which is 1 inch. And then we've got this giganto foam, this 2-inch thick foam. That's 48 millimeters. Now, if you don't have foam this thick, you can always layer up 1/2-inch foam to get to the thickness you need. So we're going to knock all 3 of these out on the bandsaw. Alright, we're going to cut the big giant 2-inch piece on the bandsaw. Nice, alright. Okay, now we're going to come in with our 2 1-inch pieces, our 24 millimeters. Lower our guard, lock it down. Alright, there we go. We've got our 2 1-inch pieces and we've got our 2-inch piece. Look at that, man. Love the bandsaw. Perfect. Alright, now we're going to be using these as the 3 inner supports for the big 1/2-inch piece that we wrap around to make the head of the mallet. So these are going to be our supports. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to wrap these with a 1/2-inch piece of foam. So what we're going to do is we're going to come in and we're going to make a measurement because we want our foam to be the exact length. So we're going to roll this foam up just like that. See what we're doing? We're rolling it up. We've got this whole piece rolled up. See what we did there? We rolled it up so that we can come in here and we can make a mark. Alright, here's our mark right here, so we know we can cut our foam off. Alright, here's our foam. It's a big, giant 1/2-inch piece of foam. Now we know that's going to be the perfect length when we wrap it. Tilt our knife on the one end, just so that the end of the piece tilts in a little bit, which will make attaching the 2 ends just a tiny bit easier. Alright. Now don't rush. When you're going by your hand, take your time. Don't want to knock a fingertip off. That would not be cool. Alright, there we go. Nice long 1/2-inch piece. We're going to wrap this around our spacers next. Okay, now we drew our guidelines so we know exactly where each piece is going to go. The 2-inch is going to lay right in there, the 1-inch on this end, and another 1-inch on this end. Alright, time to start gluing, and we're gonna wrap this thing. All right, that's it. Just go all the way around the circles on the outside strip. Bring in now something like this and set it on top so it floats like that. Now we're going to finish doing the other circles. All right, everything's coated. We've got the 3 stripes down our wrap, and we've got our 3 inner supports. Give it a couple minutes, let it dry, and then we'll stick it together. All right, now here comes the fun. We are going to lay this down right in the center. All right, we've got that piece stuck down on this end. See that? We're stuck down. Now we're going to come into this third end here. Let me get around here so I can see what I'm doing. All right, there we go. Look at that. All right, we've got all 3 supports ready to go. Nervous time. All right, we're gonna start rolling this now. All right, over on this side, we wanna make sure that we're lining up right along the edge here as we go. So we're gonna start, we're gonna put some weight on it. We're gonna roll it just a little bit. Okay, we're nice and flush right here. And we're gonna do the same thing here. We're gonna roll this one just a little bit, just like that. Now we're going to come over to this side, and we're going to roll this one lining up with the edge as we go. Just like that. All right, that's it. Now we're just going to keep going a little bit at a time. So we're going to roll this side, looking at the edge to keep it straight on, flush on the edge. And we're going to come over to this side, do the same thing. A little bit in the middle. All right, see how it's starting to curl up? Nice, we're rolling. All right, look at that. That is crazy awesome. Okay, now this should work perfectly because we measured our foam, so we know it should work. We even made it just a hair longer than we needed, just so we don't end up getting to the end and being out of luck because we're too short. All right, now, look at that thing. Man, that's a big honking drum right there. Wow. All right, now what we're going to do is this, is before we come to the end, we have to get some cement on the 2 ends because they're gonna make contact together. So. All right, there we go. We've got cement along this edge and right along this edge here. All right, so we're going to tighten up a little bit more on this side. All right, let's give these end pieces just a couple more minute or so to dry up. They're almost dry right now. All right, we are a little bit too long, but that's okay. We can salvage it by making a mark. It's not there. All right, let's do the same thing on this side. All right, we got a mark here, and we got a mark here. So let's make a mark on the underside of each of these. All right, there we go. Now we know where we got to cut. Slightly tip knife just to get a bevel. Let's get a little bit of cement on this new raw edge here. See that? We've talked about that before. Even when you measure, we measured, and that foam was perfectly the right length. But you saw what happened. We rolled it up, and by the time we got to the end, holy cow, man, it was like about 2 inches too long. That just goes to show how even when you're being careful, the foam gives a little bit. Next thing you know, you're too long or too short. Just like that. Now we're gonna just take our time. We're gonna line up right down the edge, like so. All right, see that? We're just gonna make sure that the edge lines up every step of the way, like so. All right, we are off in the middle just a hair, but we have a way we can remedy that. that is going to be where the center strip goes, so we're not too concerned. All right, there we go. Look at that, lined our end up. All right. All right, now we're going to roll the edge here because we want to get good contact all the way down. All right, there we go. Look at that. That is a crazy big drum for the mallet end of the hammer. Holy smokes. Now we have one little screw up right here in the middle where we've got a gap that, but we're going to put pressure down because it's going to stick on the inside because we have our support down the middle. So even though this is not connected right here, it's here and here is stuck down to the support. So we may see a gap there, but we're going to cover this with the centerpiece. Okay, now the original plan was our center stripe was going to be 5 inches, which would have been right there. But because of the slight mistake on the wrap, which is really hard because of the size we're doing this thing, we went ahead and extended it a 1/2 inch on both sides. So we're going to do 6 inches for our center strap. So that'll wrap right around through the middle and it'll hide this. And no one will ever know the difference. All right. All right, we're going to go around the whole drum. We're going to mark our center line and then we're going to mark our 6-inch line. We're going to roll it just a little bit more. We're going to do that all the way around the whole piece. All right, there we go. All right, now we're going to use a long piece of foam to wrap around this and make the 2 marks. All right, there's our guideline for the center strip. All right, here we go. Here's our lines drawn out for our 6-inch wide strip that's going to wrap around the middle. We're using a 6mm piece of foam for that, and then along the inside we're going to put 2 little raised stripes around it. So we're going to come in, we have our 2 stripes marked off. We're going to use a 4mm for that. Alright, so we're going to go through these 2 with our X-Acto knife with no straight edge. Alright, there we go. We've got our 3 pieces. Now what we're going to be doing is we're going to be attaching this strip right along the edge like that on both sides, but we're going to round the edge of this off first with the Dremel. So let's get our dust mask on. Alright, there we go. Really nice. We've got a nice rounded edge right down the whole piece. Now we're just going to finish this piece and then do this one. Alright, there we go. Nice round edges. We went right down both strips. Now we're going to heat seal these real quick and then we're going to attach them to our 6-inch strip. Alright, nice and tight. Foam tightened up. Got a nice smooth edge around both sides. Nice. Because this is a tiny little detail, we're going to come in with some super glue and we're going to get the first little bit of it started like this. Get our super glue evened out. We're going to come in and we're going to flush it up with the edge just like that. Alright, there we go, just like that. Now we're going to just take our time, we're going to go all the way down both sides. Alright, check that out. We've got the 2 nice little raised details. They've got the slight rounded edge. That's going to come in, and that is going to cover our gap right there, just like that. Look at that, man. Really cool. Alright, there we go. Look at that. Really nice. Alright, now we're going to make a measurement so we know where we need to cut this off at. Okay, we're going to wrap it kind of snug. Now if that goes down, it's going to go down right about there. Okay, there's our mark. We're going to cut a slight angle, and there it is on the other side. All right, now we're going to come in with our box cutter, and instead of holding the knife at a 90-degree angle, we're going to slightly tip it, and I mean just slightly. We just want a slight angled cut on the end. All right, just like that. Okay, see that? We got a little bit of an angled cut there. So when we wrap it around, that helps it to kiss right up together just like that. Okay, here's a dry fit with our cut. That's perfect as is, and we'll end up stretching it just a tiny bit, so it's gonna be perfect. All right, here we go. Here's gonna be the 9 diamond details that wrap around the center of our mallet. So what we did was we brought our box cutter in, and we're gonna cut around each of these, but we're gonna cut them with a bevel. Really easy stuff. You've seen us do this before. We're gonna come in and we're gonna tip our knife over, and we're gonna slide right through on an angle like that. And we're gonna do that all the way around the whole piece. Just like that. Then what you get when you're done is this. You get a nice beveled edge around the piece. All right, now we're gonna do 8 more. All right, there we go. There's 9 of them. Real easy stuff. Okay, now we marked through the center of our wrap, horizontally and vertically, so we know the center piece is gonna go right in the middle. We're just going to go right down the line. Now make sure you just cover your Sharpie line. All right, there you go. That's it. That easy. We're just going to cement them all. We're going to let them dry, and we're going to stick them down. So what we can probably do is we can probably do a couple at a time. All right, there you go. We'll just do like 3 at a time. Let them. All right, we got this. We're going to line up our point right on the line, just like that. And then you just go around the edge, making sure that you've got complete contact all the way around. Little raised diamond on there, and then the raised edge. All right, just keep going. You're gonna go around just like that. That's cool. All right. All right, there we go. We gave it a few minutes. It's dry. Time to make contact. All right, now this is gonna be a little bit tricky. And we are going to lock it down. Stick it down. All right, looking good. We're coming up on the end, and it looks like we're gonna be perfect. So now what we wanna do, give it a couple minutes till that part dries, and then we'll finish our wrap. Right there. Now we're gonna line up our seam right here, right down the middle. Perfect alignment. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Holy cow, man, that is nice. All right, let's get some good contact down here on our seam. Make sure we've got good contact all the way around the edge. This piece had the big opening in the middle because the foam was stretching as we were rolling it, and we ended up a tiny bit short in the middle because it was kind of bowing. But we covered it with our wrap. Look at that, man, that's tight. That's a giant Harley Quinn mallet for knocking people on the noggin. Look at that thing. Wow. All right. All right, now we've got our 2 strips measured out that are going to go around the outside edge of the mallet. And we're using 6mm foam for that. Here's our mark right here that we made when we measured. Now we're going to cut with a slight bevel. Nothing drastic. All right, there we go. Now we've got a slight bevel on each end, and you know why we do that when we're wrapping? That way when you come around to the other side, like this, and it goes to attach, it seems to make it a little bit easier with the beveled edge. All right, we're gonna Dremel the edges of both pieces.
All right, there we go. Nice round edges. Now we're going to come in with our heat gun. We're going to seal it. Now we're going to do all the same steps on this second one. Now we've got both of our straps tightened up and rounded. Really nice. All right, now we're going to make our mark. And remember what we said, we're going to be coming in and lining this up, but we're going to have it overhang the edge here so we have a little recess. So now we're going to use a piece of foam to help us. Strike our line all the way around. All right, there we go. Both our guidelines are drawn on. So now we've got all the way around our mallet head and we've got our wrap done. We're going to give it a couple minutes, then we're going to stick it. Okay, now we're anchored. Now we can go ahead and we can start rolling right along our Sharpie mark. Really easy. There is nothing difficult about this build. This build is crazy easy. We're making good contact. Let's just do a quick test to see kind of where we're going to fall out. All right, we might be a hair short, so let's stretch a little bit. All right, there we go. We just stretched, so we gained ourselves a little bit of, there we go, perfect. All right, there we go. Now we're going to give this a little bit of time to dry up and then bam, contact. And we are going to line up our edges. All right, look at that. That is beautiful. Now we're just going to push this down in the middle like that. That's how you do it. This is why we drew our line, our guideline where we drew it. This is now recessed a little bit. This is raised up. And we also don't want this hard edge around the inside. So we're going to go around this with the Dremel and we're going to soften that round edge right there. All right, there we go. We rounded off the edge. Cool little detail. We've got the little overhang right here. So we've got a little recess for this part. All right, now we're just going to do that on this side. All right, there we go. Nice. All right, now we're going to do a once over real quick with the heat gun to seal this whole thing. That is a tight surface on the foam. Man, that's cool. And I can't say it enough. This build is super crazy easy. Really easy. All right, there's the whole head of our Harley Quinn Mallet. Check that out. Nice. All right. Holy cow, man. Super easy so far. You saw how easy that was. We built the head of the mallet, which was just a bunch of supports on the inside, and then we wrapped it, and then we threw on these little details. Really easy stuff. Kind of a pain in the rear end though, because you need a lot of space to like spread it all out. But other than needing the space, it's totally easy. You can totally nail this. So that concludes making an EVA foam Harley Quinn Mallet Part 1. Hope you liked it. If you did, give us a like, share us with a friend, and subscribe to this channel. And together we're going to go step by step through a lot more super cool builds so that you get the props you deserve. Thanks for coming. See you next time.